Get ready, basketball fans, because tonight, the hardwood heats up as the Indiana Fever take on the Atlanta Dream in a showdown you don't want to miss. Caitlin Clark is back in rhythm, and the Fever are hungry to bounce back and make a statement. With Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Clark leading the charge, Indiana is gearing up for a fight. But standing in their way is a gritty and explosive Atlanta Dream squad. Led by stars like Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray, this team brings speed, shooting, and serious swagger to the floor. Two teams, one court. A battle of rising stars, fast breaks, and clutch moments. Who takes control? Who steps up in crunch time? And can the Fever lock in and defend their home turf? Stick around, because this one is going to be electric. The ball was tipped, and the Atlanta Dream opened the game with first possession. But it was Aaliyah Boston who struck first. She got Indiana on the board with a smooth mid-range jump shot, setting the tone early. Jordan Canada wasted no time responding for Atlanta, slicing into the lane and floating in a running finger roll layup with finesse. Then came the crowd's moment. Caitlin Clark, back in rhythm, drove into the lane and banked in a floating jump shot off the glass. The crowd lit up. Clark was active early, but Atlanta came right back. Jordan Canada launched one from deep and nailed the three-pointer, and right after that, Ryan Howard followed it up with another three-ball of her own. The Dream were heating up. Brianna Jones crashed the boards hard and cleaned up a miss with a powerful putback layup, and Atlanta began to stretch their lead. Then it was Ryan Howard again, this time slicing through traffic and finishing a strong driving layup. The Fever defense struggled to contain her early. Ari McDonald added to the pressure with a swift driving finger roll, and Jordan Canada wasn't finished yet, delivering another driving layup as the Dream continued their run. But Kelsey Mitchell stopped the bleeding with a much-needed pull-up three-pointer for Indiana. Cool, clean, and perfectly timed. Indiana started to push back, followed it up with a driving layup, attacking the rim hard and finishing through contact. Then came Alicia Gray with a response for Atlanta, draining a calm pull-up jumper to hold the Fever at bay. But the Fever weren't done. Sophie Cunningham found her spot on the wing, rose up, and nailed a pull-up three-pointer. Indiana Fever came out with heart, energy, and fire, scoring 20 points. But the Atlanta Dream had just a little more firepower, taking the quarter with 23 points. This battle was just beginning, and it was already shaping up to be a thriller. The second quarter started with a spark for Indiana as Damaris Dantas stepped up and knocked down a three-point jump shot, giving the Fever an early lift. But the Dream came right back. Haley Caldwell drove hard to the basket and finished with a finger roll layup. And moments later, Kelsey Mitchell answered with her own smooth driving finger roll for Indiana. The momentum swung again as Jordan Canada pulled up from deep and buried a three-pointer, putting pressure right back on the Fever. Haley Caldwell added another layup, and Canada kept her rhythm, hitting a confident turnaround jump shot near the paint. Indiana needed a response, and once again, Kelsey Mitchell stepped up. She hit a tough step-back jumper, then attacked the rim for a clean driving layup. The Fever were battling, but Canada couldn't be stopped. She knocked down another three-pointer, her third of the game. Mitchell matched it with a three of her own, and followed it up with a crafty reverse layup that brought the Indiana bench to their feet. Still, Canada wasn't done. She drained yet another three-pointer, this time with even more confidence. Then it was Aaliyah Boston getting into the action. She stepped behind the arc and hit a big three-point jumper to keep Indiana close. Atlanta kept their offense rolling with Brittany Griner hitting a smooth turnaround jumper, using her height and touch inside. And then came the closing burst. Jordan Canada, already on fire, launched a running pull-up three from 24 feet, and just moments later, finished a fast break with a quick 2-foot running layup. Jordan Canada completely took over the second quarter, but Kelsey Mitchell kept Indiana fighting back. At halftime, both teams had their stars shining, but the Dream held the edge going into the third. The third quarter began with the Indiana Fever looking to close the gap, and it was Nalissa Smith, who got it started with a strong cutting layup right at the rim, but the Atlanta Dream answered right back. Brianna Jones made a tough move down low and finished with a smooth driving reverse layup to keep Atlanta ahead. Then, from way downtown, Caitlin Clark pulled up from 24 feet and drilled a running three-point jump shot. An absolute bomb that lit up the crowd and gave Indiana a boost. Brittany Griner responded for the Dream with a clean turnaround jumper, and not long after, Ryan Howard knocked down a deep 28-foot three-pointer on the move, Atlanta staying aggressive and hot from beyond the arc. But the Fever kept attacking. Kelsey Mitchell cut hard to the basket and scored an easy cutting layup, and Lexi Hull followed it up with another cutting layup, making smart off-ball moves that paid off. Still, Griner came back strong, finishing a tough reverse layup in the paint for Atlanta, using her size and strength to dominate inside. Then came Alicia Gray, stepping into a wide-open look and drilling a 26-foot three-point jumper. Atlanta's shooting was relentless. But Sophie Cunningham gave Indiana an answer, pulling up from deep and knocking down a 24-foot three-pointer, keeping the Fever within reach. Not to be outdone, Rhyne Howard stepped up again, this time with a 25-foot three-pointer, and followed it up later with a pull-up three from the exact same distance. She was on fire in the third. Nalissa Smith came back with a soft floating jumper in the paint, and Kelsey Mitchell followed with a clean pull-up jumper from mid-range. Indiana kept the pressure up. Sophie Cunningham delivered again with a running three-point jumper from 24 feet out, her second of the quarter. And then came Caitlin Clark, slashing her way into the paint and finishing a smooth driving layup, cutting through the defense with ease. The fourth quarter kicked off with Caitlin Clark attacking early. She drove straight into the lane and finished a smooth 4-foot layup, giving Indiana a quick spark. But Brittany Griner responded for the Dream with a powerful driving bank hook shot, showing off her strength in the paint. Then it was Aaliyah Boston's turn. She got to her spot near the baseline and knocked down a tough fadeaway jumper, keeping the Fever's rhythm alive. Moments later, Sophie Cunningham made a smart cut to the rim and finished an easy cutting layup, followed by Aaliyah Boston again, this time with a clean layup inside after slipping past her defender. The Dream answered as Haley Caldwell moved well without the ball and finished with a quick cutting layup to keep Atlanta within striking distance. And there it is. The final buzzer sounds, and what a performance by the Indiana Fever. After 4 quarters of relentless pace, smart execution, and big-time shot-making, Indiana takes this one with authority. Final score: Indiana Fever 99, Atlanta Dream 82. From Caitlin Clark's slick drives to Kelsey Mitchell's clutch shooting and Aaliyah Boston's dominance in the paint, this was a statement win from a team that's starting to find its rhythm. Add in big contributions from Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, and Damiris Dantas, and the Fever showed exactly what happens when talent and teamwork click. Atlanta had their moments. Jordan Canada, Rhyne Howard, and Nia Coffey fought hard. But tonight belonged to Indiana. If you loved the hustle, the highlights, and the heart, make sure to like the video, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button. We've got more breakdowns, more heat, and more Caitlin Clark content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.